The FBI's onto Kohberger before he peels out of University of Idaho on December 13th. Sorry, University of Washington on December 13th. They're on to him. They see he's going with the dad. They see he's taking, they would eventually see he was taking a very weird circuitous route home. But you broke this news that they lost him for several hours. Now, the FBI has since denied that.
Yes.
They have come out and said kind of what you said, you and I were saying earlier, but they're kind of using it against you, saying the FBI is aware of reports detailing alleged FBI surveillance on Idaho murder subject Bryan Kohberger. There are anonymous sources providing false information to the media. So do you stand by the reporting that they lost him for a couple of hours?
Yes, I do. What's also maybe would help make my case, and the reason I found out about this, why I started, knocking on doors metaphorically to see what was going on. They mentioned that Kohberger goes off, and they first see him. There's a license plate reader attached to a traffic stop in a town in, I think it's Loma, Colorado, and that figures into the affidavit. So I'm asking myself, why is this the only traffic license plate reader they mention? Why is that so significant? And so I start calling, people who have a place in law enforcement, and I have done several books that involve the FBI. So I have some sources there. And this is what I heard. One of the things that reporters always have to deal with is people who give them misinformation. To the best of my knowledge and logically, according to the affidavit, it still makes sense to me. But if some FBI official wants to swear on his life that I'm wrong, well, maybe he's right.
Well, it's not the kind of thing the FBI would rush to admit, given that, what you reported is they are following this guy. They believe he's their killer, though they don't have enough to arrest him yet. And they lost him for several hours, and it wasn't until a license plate reader, one of those random things we all drive through that's looks like a toll, that's sort of taking your money if you have an Easy Pass or what have you, registered him, and they got the alert, and they said, oh, thank God, we know where he is again, and they caught back up with him.
I mean, this is sort of an operation, a surveillance operation from hell. I mean, they're watching this car. They lose him, and then once they see a Indiana State Trooper and then a local cop stop the car that they're facing, they don't know what's going on, and they're as helpless as we are. To sort of try to make a decision. How should we respond? I think, and there must have been a large debate. Do we warn the Idaho State Police? One of their men is approaching a car that could be a killer. We have to, call headquarters, tell them to stop this guy and from going into the car because this could put him in harm's way. I think perhaps they should have done that. I think they shouldn't have allowed this traffic stop to take place. I wouldn't have risked that state trooper's life.
Well, there are other similar questions once they landed in Pennsylvania. So they get there taking a weird route. They didn't do the most direct straight across the country. They drove south and then they drove back up to Pennsylvania. Kohberger allegedly said to his dad to avoid snowy weather. But one wonders whether it was, if somebody's tailing us, let's go a weird route, let's not do what would be expected of us, that kind of thing. Little did the dad know. No evidence the dad knew anything about any of this. So they get back to the house in the Poconos, and the reporting is that they saw him, they're watching him. They saw him take the Hyundai Elantra to the car wash in the place where you can clean your own car, you can vacuum it, you can do all the things. How did they allow that, Howard?
It's incredible. He also goes to a sort of repair shop to change the oil to, and he's talking to the repair guy. I don't think, at least at the point when I spoke to the repair people, and there are only 3 places that you can go to in that area, so it's not hard to track it down. None of the police had spoken to the guy I spoke with.
No.
I also, Stroudsburg is the main town. It's a 15-minute ride or so from where he lives. That's where you go. On the main drag, in town, there's a sporting goods store. It's almost a half block long. You walk in, it's like an armory. There are case after case after case of bright, shiny knives. You would think they would have checked to see, it would be the logical place. He might have bought a hunting knife before he went off to school in Washington. Many reasons to have a hunting knife, whatever. They never went and asked to check the records there, the purchases. I mean, it's very sort of questionable police work. We'll see
That's
how
unbelievable.
It all stands up in court of law. But at this point, it's, I would say, pretty dubious work.
So in the meantime, they know something that I don't know if Bryan Kohberger knew, but they knew they had the knife sheath with touch DNA on it, and they'd been searching for a match for somebody who would match the touch DNA.
Right.
But now they've got Bryan Kohberger in their crosshairs. They see him with his dad. They've got to be trying to get their DNA. To me, it sounds like they didn't actually make a real attempt to get the DNA of either one of these guys until they were back in the Pennsylvania house in the Poconos. It doesn't sound like they did the trash gathering prior to that.
We do know, or we assume, Kohberger, on the way going across country, they're stopping off from Thai foods. Well, if you Google Thai foods, Indiana, where they were going, Indianapolis, there's 2 Thai restaurants there. If the FBI was on the trail, they would have seen them go in. You try to grab the silverware as they pull out, or a plate or glass. You could have gotten everything then. To have to do this sort of clandestine, great trash robbery was a bit absurd.
Yeah, it didn't need to be that hard. It's strange to me. There are lots of questions. And of course, they know more than we do. So maybe it'll all become clear once they lift their gag order or at the preliminary hearing, if not before. Going to bed at a decent hour did not always mean that I got enough sleep. Often I was too hot, too cold, just not that comfy. Well, that started to change thanks to my Cozy Earth bedding, the softest, most luxurious, and responsibly sourced bedding on the planet. Cozy Earth bedding is naturally temperature regulating, so I sleep great in any weather. And I am not alone. Allison leaves this 5-star review, quote, "Love them. Softest, most comfortable sheets I've ever slept on," end quote. Cozy Earth bedding is made from 100% premium viscose from bamboo. They are so confident you will love their products, and you will. They're super soft. They offer a 100-night sleep trial, which means you have up to 100 nights to actually sleep on the sheets, try them, wash them out, and then if you're not completely in love, you can send them back for a full refund. Whether it's their luxury sheets, their loungewear, love the loungewear, their pajamas, or their brand new waffle bath towel collection, you're going to love shopping at Cozy Earth. And now you can order their bedding in 5 awesome colors. Save 35% on Cozy Earth by going to CozyEarth.com. Enter my promo code Megyn and save that 35%. Why would you pay full price when you don't have to? All you have to do is type my name. That's CozyEarth.com, promo code Megyn, Megyn. Check it out at CozyEarth.com. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.